Hello, mes amis. If you ever try to say things like some bread, a lot of coffee, too much homework, or just a bottle of water, in French of course, you've probably realized that French has, a lot of different ways to talk about quantities. But the good news is there's actually a system behind it, and now I will tell you how it works.
Article de base. Basic article.
Before we talk about quantities, let's quickly review the articles. And of course, the different types. So first we have the definite articles. This means the. In French, it's le for masculine, la for feminine, les for plural, and if the word begins with a vowel, we use the L apostrophe. For example, le café est chaud. The coffee is hot. J'aime le chien. I like dogs. The next type are indefinite articles. These mean a, an, or some when talking about countable things. So in French, we use un for masculine, une for feminine, and if it's plural, then we use des. Here are some examples. J'ai un chien. I have a dog. Elle a une voiture. She has a car. Ils ont des amis. They have friends. And last but not least, there are the partitive articles. These are where quantities really begin. So, French doesn't usually say simply, I want bread. Instead, it literally says, I want some bread. And to do that, we use du for masculine, de la for feminine, de L apostrophe when the word begins with the vowel, and de for plural. So for example, je mange du pain. I'm eating some bread. Elle boit de la soupe. She's drinking some soup. Nous achetons de l'eau. We are buying some water. Ils mangent des légumes. They're eating some vegetables.
Expression de quantité. Quantity expressions.
Quantity expressions tell us how much or how many, instead of just saying some bread. So this means you can say a lot of bread, a little bread, enough bread, too much bread, or a kilo of bread. Well, here's the big rule. Whenever you have a quantity expression, you almost always use de afterward. Think of it like this. Quantity plus de plus noun. That's actually the formula. It's not that hard. Let's walk through the most common. Beaucoup de means a lot of. For example, j'ai beaucoup de travail. I have a lot of work. Or if you want to say, she drinks a lot of coffee, elle boit beaucoup de café. Please notice in this case we have an exception. It's never, like literally never, beaucoup du café, but always beaucoup de café. That's the right way to say it. This also applies to the following expressions. So the next one is peu de. That means little or few. Nous avons peu de temps. We have little time. Il y a peu de voitures. There are few cars. Sorry, I just stumbled over my tongue. Quite similar is un peu de, so don't mix them up. This means a little. Je voudrais un peu de sucre. I like a little sugar. Ajoute un peu de sel. Add a little salt. Trop de you can use to say too much or too many. For example, tu as trop de vêtements. You have too many clothes. Il mange trop de chocolat. He eats too much chocolate. You can never eat too much chocolate. Just saying. Assez de means enough. J'ai assez d'argent. I have enough money. Notice how de becomes de apostrophe before a vowel. Great. Next one is autant de, as much as many. Elle a autant de livres que moi. She has as many books as I do. And then we have moins de for less and fewer. Je mange moins de sucre. I'm eating less sugar. And plus de, you used to say more. Nous voulons plus de temps. We want more time. So, one more time to avoid any confusion. When you're talking about an indefinite quantity, you use du, de la, de L apostrophe, or de. Like some bread, du pain. But when the quantity is specified by a quantity expression, such as beaucoup de, peu de, or assez de, you simply use the or the apostrophe before a vowel. A lot of bread, beaucoup de bread.
Conteneur, containers.
French loves using containers. So the formula here is container plus de plus noun. So it's like une bouteille de, un verre de, une tasse de, une boîte de, un kilo de, un litre de, une tranche de, and a morceau de. Let's make some sentences. A bottle of water, une bouteille d'eau. A glass of milk, un verre de lait. A cup of coffee, une tasse de café. A kilo of apples, a kilo de pommes.
Approximative, approximate.
French has a lot of casual expressions like une dizaine de, about 10, un vingtaine de, about 20, une trentaine de, about 30, une centaine de, about 100. For example, il y avait une centaine de personnes. There were around 100 people. J'ai une dizaine de livres. I have around 10 books.
Exception, exception.
Sometimes the noun already has a specific meaning. For example, beaucoup des étudiants de ma classe. Here, des étudiants de ma classe means the students from my class. We're talking about a specific group. So, beaucoup des étudiants de ma classe parlent espagnol. Many of the students in my class speak Spanish. Please notice the difference. Beaucoup d'étudiants means many students in general, but beaucoup des étudiants de ma classe means many of the students in my class. That little de changes the meaning.
Nombre, numbers.
That one is quite easy. If you use numbers, we simply don't need de. You just say 3 pommes, 100 livres, 10 étudiants. Easy, right? For example, j'ai 3 chats. I have 3 cats. Elle possède 5 voitures. She owns 5 cars. That's super simple.
Négation, négation.
Here's another rule learners often miss. So you normally say, je mange du pain. I eat some bread. But after negation, the partitive usually changes to de. Je ne mange pas de pain. I don't eat bread. Okay, let's do some more examples. So it's il n'a pas de voiture instead of du. He doesn't have a car. And nous ne voulons pas de café. We don't want coffee. So it's not the du. There's only one exception. With the verb être, the article usually stays the same. So you say c'est du fromage, it's cheese, and also in the negation form, it's also ce n'est pas du fromage. It's not cheese. Notice we keep the du. This is an exception.
Nom au pluriel, plural nouns.
This one is another famous rule you must plant into your brain. Normally, if you use the plural, you say des fleurs. But if an adjective comes before the plural noun, des often becomes de. De belles fleurs, the beautiful flowers. De grands arbres, big trees. De vieux livres, old books. But don't worry if you mix it up. It doesn't matter actually because it happens mostly in formal written French. Luckily, in everyday speech, you still hear many native speakers say de. So it's all right. Yeah, don't panic if you hear both. There's no right or wrong.
Erreur de débutant, beginner mistakes.
Here are some mistakes you might make as a beginner. So you don't say beaucoup de pommes. The correct way, of course, is beaucoup de pommes. Also, don't say assez des amis is assez d'amis. Because in both sentences, the quantity is specified. Beaucoup and assez. So de becomes de. Trop de sucre is wrong because the quantity is specified as well by trop, so it's trop de sucre. In the next one, we have the same case, so it's not un verre du lait because it's specified by so it's un verre de lait. And for the last one, don't say je ne mange pas du pain because it's a negation, so du becomes de. Je ne mange pas de pain.
Astuce mnémotechnique, mémoritrique.
Here's an easy way to remember everything. If you hear keywords like a lot, a little, enough, more, less, too much, a kilo, a bottle, a glass, a cup, and so on, your brain should immediately think quantity plus the plus noun. That's the pattern that covers most situations. The only major exceptions to remember are numbers. Trois pommes, 5 livres. Here you don't use de. And then specific groups. Beaucoup des étudiants de cette école. Many of the students. Another one is negations. Partitive articles usually become de. Je ne bois pas de café. Except with être. Ce n'est pas du café. And the last one, plural adjectives before nouns. De belles fleurs in more formal French. Well, once you master these, you'll sound much, much more natural, and that's everything you actually need to know about quantities in French. So to really lock in what you've learned, I recommend doing some practices. You can use my handout, which includes a handy overview and plenty of exercises. You'll find the link in the description below, as always, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. À bientôt.